Hello again, everyone. It's time for another loaded edition of the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update. And oddly enough, I'm doing this from South Dakota as we just wrapped up our coverage of the NSIC basketball tournament at the Sanford Pentagon. But we have so much to talk about, so I wanted to get this update out. First off, let's glance back at that hard-fought, down-to-the-wire Class B girls basketball state championship that was played in front of a facility record at the Betty. 3,387 people in attendance. Two unseeded teams advanced to Saturday night in Kindred and Rugby. The Vikings were seeking their second title in 3 years, with the team led by underclassmen, while the Panthers were hoping to win the program's first state title. What a scene and what an atmosphere in Grand Forks for these two teams to play in front of. The crowd had more people than the two cities' populations combined. The Panthers come out shooting hot. Brooke Blessum showing some range for being 5'11", hits the triple. Later, Blessum grabs her own miss, puts it in for two, and it's 9-0 Panthers. The sophomore post continuing her hot play in the postseason. Finally, Casey Berner gets Kindred's only points of the quarter, making it 13-2 at the end of one. Coach Sam Brandt trying to calm the nerves of her team with 3 quarters still to play. Rugby catches the Vikings off guard here, though. Bless them, another easy two. She led all scores with 19, but Kindred goes on a run. Burner to Taryn Johnson, who makes the layup plus the foul. Kindred within 3, closing seconds of the half. Johnson returning the favor to Burner, who knocks down the 3. The Kindred bench fired up as the Vikings trim the lead to 21-20 at the half. On to the second half. Carson Hager showing off some unbelievable range on this triple. Both teams start trading buckets. Halfway through the third, Abby Dukeshire with 40 points through the first 2 games hits the runner, but she only made 3 field goals in this game because of the Panthers' tough defense. Annie Steyer, the senior for Rugby, digging deep. This bucket makes it a 31-30 Kindred lead. The Vikings ran often in this one as Jordan Burner slips through the defense and finishes with the right hand, giving Kindred the 2-point advantage. Burner led the Vikings with 14. Jen Brosart directing her team with only a minute and change on the clock. Hager trying to finish her career in style, knocking down another triple to cut Kindred's lead to 2 with under a minute to play. After a stop, Steyer drives and makes the layup plus the foul. She makes the free throw. The Panthers lead it by 1 at 47-46. 30 seconds left now. Vikings need a bucket, and they get it in the hands of freshman Christina Fryer. Are you kidding me? Money. It's 49-47 Kindred with 11 seconds left. Panthers have a chance to answer. Steyer on the drive can't get the reverse layup to go with a few seconds left. Kindred can inbound and run out the clock, but the inbound pass is stolen by Blessum, who has a shot at the buzzer, but it's off the mark, and here come the students. Kindred wins it 49-47 to claim its second title in 3 years. Head coach Sam Brandt says the key was to not let that poor start affect them the rest of the game, and it didn't.
Cut the nerves, get them out. Playing that tough defense really helps, to kill those nerves a little bit and start over. We got to win every quarter to get ourselves back in this game.
I think just like the extra little effort, like Abby diving on the floor and people just getting those good moves inside, that it's just everyone just fed off of each other. One person did something good and we all just wanted to just do it for our team.
Last year we didn't get the ending result we wanted, so this year we knew we had to step it up, and we rose as one and we finished today.
It feels great, and we just know this program's keeping on growing because we have a young team, and I just can't wait to come back next year with the same goal.
You want to build from the ground up. You want to build from those young kids up, and tonight you could tell by the crowd and the student sections we've had from Thursday on today that these kids love it and they want to be a part of it. So I'm hoping, every kid who enters the program, they've got these big shoes to fill and these great kids to play with and so much to learn from each other. It's going to be exciting to see what the next couple of years bring.
That's just an impressive season for the Vikings, and with the freshman class they have, they'll be the team to beat for a while in Class B. Next up is the Super A that'll take place in Bismarck beginning Thursday at the Bismarck Event Center. For a preview of the Super A matchups, here's Midco Sports Network's Zach Hoffner.
The opening game of the state tournament will have the 1 seed out of the East, Devils Lake, against the surprise of the tournament, the Williston Coyotes. The Firebirds were the powerhouse of the East all season. Coming into state with just 1 loss, Devils Lake has 4 All-EDC performers, all of which average over 11 points per game. Devils Lake not only has one of the best offenses in the state, scoring 70 points per contest, their defense is what carries them, averaging 16 steals per game. This is the Firebirds' 3rd consecutive trip to the state tournament, and they'll be looking for their first state title since 1987, but they're certainly enjoying their EDC championship.
It's literally the awesomest feeling because you put in all this work and practice. We run all these sprints, we do all these defensive drills, and it all pays off in a night like this.
I think our defense, just really putting on the defense and getting our hard traps and getting deflections and stuff just really puts it together and helps us execute offense once we get all the steals.
Routine-wise, now the kids know what to expect. They know how to prepare. I think we'll do a better job preparing for our opponents.
Their opponent out of the West will definitely have their hands full, but Williston is no stranger to a good upset. The Coyotes punched their ticket to state by knocking off the 4th-ranked Bismarck Demons. If there is one thing that makes this team dangerous, it's got to be their shooting. In the state qualifier, the Coyotes hit 14 out of their 28 three-pointers attempted. Head coach Luann Axelson's team will rely on senior forward Jalen Hellstead, who is top 10 in the WDA in rebounding and scoring. If the rest of the team can keep knocking down threes like they did in the WDA tournament, the Coyotes could be poised for a big upset. But making the first trip to state since 2010 is already a huge step in the right direction for this program.
It feels amazing. Instantly when I just started I teared up because I was so happy and so excited. Never been in this position before, and it's just a great feeling.
You know, we're trying to build a resume here at Williston, and you know, you got to get some wins, and there's a process. You got to get to the high places. You got to get to the ship to see what you're really made of. So, you know, reaching our goals, that was a long-term goal. We had short-term goals throughout the season, and we were reaching them, and I just knew by the end of the season, hey, we got a shot. We got a shot at getting there, and look what we did.
The second game on the girls' side of things will have the 2nd seed Mandan Braves playing the 3rd seed out of the East, the Cheyenne Mustangs. Mandan comes into state with just 3 losses on the season, all of which happen to be to Bismarck Century. Behind a trio of all WDA performers, Kennedy Harris, Megan Zander, and Laken Darris, the Braves will rely on experience to lead them into the state tournament this season. UND commit and WDA Senior Athlete of the Year Zander is averaging a double-double, while Northern State commit Harris averages 16 points and a West-leading 4 assists per game. Mandan has outscored its opponents by an average of 18 points per game this season, and a big reason is their defense. The Braves will look to hoist their first state championship since 2008 and will lean on their chemistry to do so.
Our team chemistry right now is really good because we've had like the same team pretty much. So we have a good team chemistry on the floor, and passing the ball around is really well, and shooting. We just mix really well.
Everybody is so competitive in this gym, and we have a really great team this year that everybody has an ultimate goal in mind. There's no guarantee for tomorrow, so every day we come to practice, we're willing to work hard, we're willing to do the little things to get better, and so I think we all in the back of our heads, we know where we want to be eventually, but right now it's just taking every day in stride.
Their opponent out of the East, the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. The Mustangs come into the tournament with a 17-7 record and return to state for the 2nd consecutive season. Ironically enough, Coach Brent Hintz's squad is led by EDC Senior Athlete of the Year and UND commit Maggie Manson. Manson leads the East in three-pointers made and is averaging just over 15 points per contest. Her partner in crime is fellow all-conference athlete Yasmina Dakara, who adds just under 14 points and 7 rebounds per game. The Mustangs are pretty fired up to be going back to state and are ready to make some noise.
I can't describe this feeling. It's so exciting to get to go to state, and for the 2nd time, we knew what it took to get here, and after halftime we knew how tough we had to be in the 2nd half, and we just went out there and did it.
You don't know what to expect, you don't really know what it is till you experience it, and now that we know that, we want to go there and we want to use that experience much like we did in this game today to give ourselves a chance to play even better and make some noise, get in the Final Four, and see what happens.
To the bottom of the bracket we go. Your top seed out of the West, you guessed it, Bismarck Century. This is Century's 17th straight trip to the state tournament. The Patriots have been dominant all season long. They come into state with a perfect record of 24-0, and their dominance has been a bit laughable thus far. They lead the West in points per game, points allowed, rebounding, assists, and blocks per game. Get this. They didn't allow a single opponent in the WDA tournament to score more than 39 points. A big reason they lead the West in all these categories is the play of their 3 all-WDA performers, UND commit Lily Keplin, All-World Junior Lauren Ware, who is getting talked to by numerous Big Ten schools and many more colleges, and sophomore Julia Fitterer. The Patriots look ready for a repeat.
You know, we have a really good connection, a lot of really good team chemistry. I'm really happy with that. We have a lot of amazing shooters, a lot of amazing ball handlers, and I think this is the best overall team I've been with in the Central program.
Just the hard work that we put in. I mean, our practices are really intense, and every time we come in on the floor and practice and in games, we all work really hard, and I think that's something really special about us.
We never take anything for granted. We just love the opportunities and just proving with the hard work that they do that they're going to come out and have a lot of success.
Their opponent, Grand Forks Red River. With a 15-8 record this season, Coach Kent Ripplinger's team returns to state for their second straight season. Red River is averaging 66 points per game while holding opponents to just over 54. The Rough Riders will come at you from all over the floor. With 3 All-EDC players, they can hurt you in transition behind the speed of senior point guard Kennedy Steffen, who averages a state-best 5.4 assists, or they can beat you up down low with Shelby Frank, who averages just under 3 blocks per contest. Add in the 13.5 points per game from Jaden Sondrel, and they believe their togetherness can lead them in state.
We're really a family. Like, together we're a really good team, and I think that we're all really good friends, and since we have like that family mentality, we work really well together.
Just like our connection we have with our teammates, we have a lot of team bonding, and we love to get together as a team, and when someone's being down during the game, we always want to bring them up and make sure they're not getting down on themselves.
You know, we know we got a big task in front of us, but I just hope we go out and play as hard as we can, give the best effort we got, and have great attitudes. We'll be fine.
And last but not least on the girls' side, a rematch of the 2017 state title game. Bismarck Legacy, the 3 seed out of the West, and Shanley, the 2 seed out of the East. Bismarck Legacy is making their 4th consecutive trip to state and take a 17-7 record into the tournament. The Sabres' strength is in their passing. Averaging 14 assists per game, they are outscoring their opponents by 12 points per contest and can really shoot the ball too. They are a balanced group with all 5 starters averaging just at 9 points or better, led by senior guard Taryn Almaraz, who averages just under 13, and junior forward Alexis Dressler, who is in the top 5 for rebounding and assists in the WDA. The Sabres are ready for another trip to state.
I've been on the team for the past 4 years, and all of our teams have went to state each year, so it means a lot to continue that legacy and go back to state this year as a senior.
You know, we've been known not to have the best scoring team this year. We've had some lulls, but defensively we battle and we find ways to win, and different kids step up for us, which is great to see. We don't have that one true star. We got probably 5 or 6 really good players that take their turns when called upon. So we're looking forward to state, going as a 3 seed, see if we can make an upset happen.
Shanley returns to state after missing the tournament last season. The Deacons come into state playing as well as they have been all season long. With a 20-4 record, Coach Steve Jacobson's team is led by a pair of juniors. Riley Payne, who can do just about anything on a basketball court, averaging an EDC best 20.7 points per game and 4.9 steals. Her counterpart, spearheading the attack, is junior guard Hadley Huber. Averaging 4.6 assists per game, she is also near the top of the EDC in steals, averaging just over 4 per clip. Throw in sharpshooting Katie Busek and some post players who can muck things up down low, and the Deacons are ready to make a push at another state title. And a tough EDC tournament got them ready.
The things we'll be able to take from this weekend is tonight. We were down 14 a couple times in the second half, and they decided to keep fighting and kept coming back.
I think it's going to take our chemistry and our teamwork and just our solid defense. If we get up and down the floor, like our transition is so good when we actually transition. So I think if we do that from start to finish, it'll be a huge game.
The boys' state tournament kicks off at 2 on Thursday as the 1 seed from the East, Fargo Davies, plays Bismarck Legacy. The Eagles come into the tournament with a 22-2 record and have been blowing teams out all season long. Their high-flying offense averages 85 points per game, while their defense is holding opponents to just 58 per contest. They are led by a trio of all EDC performers: sharpshooter Brayton Machenbaker, big man Jaden Clabo, and the hyper-athletic Cole Hage. Davies is no stranger to the state tournament, having been to the EDC title game in 6 of the program's 7 years, but last season fell short after entering the EDC tournament as the 1 seed, something that's pushed them to this point.
We had a chip on our shoulder kind of all year this year, and it could work out better. Our guys, we got down by 10 in that second half, and they just kept fighting. And we made plays defensively and offensively, and I could be prouder of our guys tonight.
It feels great. After losing to Shanley and Red River last year, and then getting them for a redemption game, our first 2 games, and then coming and beating West Fargo, who beat us 2 games in a row, it's unbelievable.
It's going to take a lot of hard work, and it's going to take a lot of teamwork, and it's going to take a lot of heart. That's the biggest thing with our team, heart. If we play with heart, I believe you can beat any team, but it's going to be a challenge.
Their opponents out of the West are making their first trip to state in school history. The Sabres enter the tournament after knocking off Minot in the qualifying round of the WDA tournament after losing by 15 and 23 to them earlier this season. Legacy is led by a lethal guard pair, junior Rhett Clements, who does a little bit of everything for the Sabres, and senior Troy Hills, who chips in just over 11 points per game. It'll take quite the effort from the entire team to pull off a first-round upset, but the Sabres are enjoying the experience thus far.
All this effort it makes it all worth it. All this atmosphere, these fans, us players, it's just crazy. I can't imagine it being any better than this.
Starting this program has been very difficult, trying to establish a culture of kids, and the ones that had, this is our only third senior class. I'm just so happy for this group of kids that just came in, did everything we asked them to do. I don't have the words. I'm just so proud of them and the effort that we had.
The second matchup of the day will pit WDA runner-up Mandan against Red River. Mandan returns to state after a third-place finish last year and will look to improve on it this go-around. The Braves come into state with a 16-8 record and will rely on the play of their all-WDA performers to push them in this tournament. Both Elijah Klein and Trey Wiest come into the tournament top 10 of the West in scoring. Klein averages 20 points and leads the West with 12 boards, while Wiest compliments him from the outside, scoring 17 points and a West-leading 4.6 dimes. With last year's experience, Klein knows what to expect this time around.
There's no easy games. Every game's going to be hard, and we just have to work our butts off and do our best. Tournaments more about defense than it is offense, so we have to keep them to lower points and then focus on our offense because defense builds from offense.
Offensively, we're going to have to take care of the basketball. If we take care of the ball, we can score. And defensively, it's going to have to be keep teams to one and done, give them one shot attempt every time.
Their opponent out of the East is making their second straight trip to state. After a surprising visit last season, the Rough Riders have some experience, but are still a relatively young team with only 3 seniors on the roster. Red River enters state with a 13-11 record, but knocked out a high-powered Cheyenne Mustangs team in overtime to get to state. They are led by junior point guard Brady Dvorak, who averages 17 points and 4 assists, and sophomore forward William Oioha, who can do a little bit of everything on the court. Coach Kirby Crefting's bunch is ready for a trip to Bismarck.
There's not one word that can describe it really, but it just feels great. Something that we work all year for. First day one practice, this is where you want to be, and this is where we're going. We're going back to the state tournament, baby.
And here's what you do. You take the momentum that we just had from this game, you take it into next week, and you see what you can do with there from the West teams. We need to play defense, we need to rebound, we need to play together. And if we do all 3 of those things, then the shots will come.
The bottom half of the bracket kicks off with the most dominant team in all of hoops this season. The undefeated Jamestown Blue Jays will play the Wahpeton Huskies. Jamestown comes into the tournament as the team to beat, and really have been all year. With a record of 24-0, they are outscoring their opponents by an average of 25 points per game. Co-WDA Senior Athlete of the Year Mason Walters averages over 21 points and 11 boards per game, while NDSU commit Bowden Skunberg leads the state with 24 points per game. Fellow All-WDA performer Jared Kallenbach also chips in 10 per night and a little over 4 assists. As they reflect on their first WDA title in school history, they know there's still a lot of ball to be played.
I mean, that's like our first one in history, so us being able to come undefeated and just get the job done, we worked so hard for it, it means everything.
I mean, I think it starts on defense, just getting stops and working on D more than offense and just focusing on reversing the ball and getting good shots.
I thought we were a little disjointed, and we have a week to clean things up, which is a good thing for us. We need to focus in on our offensive end, and defensively we need to do a little bit better, so we've got room to improve.
The team with the first shot to hand the Jays a loss is the Huskies from Wahpeton. Wahpeton comes into the state tournament with a 14-10 record and make their first trip to state since 2015. The Huskies are an athletic group led by a bunch of seniors. They have just one All-EDC player, Bryce Rader, but get contributions from everyone. They will have to rely on their defense to slow one of the most potent offenses in the state, a defense that is 4th in the EDC for points allowed. Wahpeton knows just how far this group has come to have this opportunity.
This is unbelievable. Our senior group, we went 1-21 2 years ago, our sophomore year, and we went to state within 2 years, and that's pretty crazy. That says a lot about our coaches. They never gave up on us after all that.
These kids, I feel like these kids, these seniors, they went through all that junk, and I feel like they really deserve this opportunity to go to the state tournament. I'm not going to say who we'd like to play, but I'm glad we get to play one of them.
And the nightcap, which in my opinion has a chance to be the game of the night. The 2 seed out of the East, West Fargo, and the defending champion, Patriots. West Fargo enters the state tournament playing some of their best basketball of the season, led by a pair of twin towers down low. West Fargo will beat you up down low and find scorers around the perimeter. EDC Senior Athlete of the Year Luke Lennon is averaging nearly 21 points and 10 boards, while his counterpart Hunter Lyman down low also chips in nearly 8 rebounds. After falling just short of an EDC title, Coach of the Year Adam Palczewski says his team is ready for state.
A lot of these guys that play a big role for us right now, they were on the team last year, and they're winners. You can see it all year long, they're winners. So I'll take winners to state any day. I got guys like Lennon and Miller, and they all play so hard. So sometimes just on the wrong end. We didn't make our shots tonight, and we were down a couple of guys, and I'm proud of our guys. We're ready to go. We know what it takes to win these big games now, and this is maybe what we needed.
Filling out the bracket is Bismarck Century. The Patriots have had an up and down season, but if there's one thing they can hang their hat on, it's the play of their defense, who gives up just 58 points per game. With a 16-8 record, the Patriots come into state looking to defend their title. And anything is possible when you have arguably the best player on the floor. Co-WDA Senior Athlete of the Year Trayton Mattern averages just under 23 points per game. Their other All-WDA player, Cade Feeney, is an all-around athlete who can wreak havoc on the defensive end of the floor. Head coach Darren Mattern is happy to be back in a season that has been a bit of a roller coaster.
To be honest with you, I think it's a year that a lot of people counted us out, and it's pretty gratifying for the kids. I think we were a 500 basketball team in December, and these kids just kept coming to work every day to get better, and I think we're playing our best basketball this time of the year, and obviously that's when you want to be at your best.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of good teams from the East as well, and we'll get one of them first round, but I think we just got to play very solid on defense and keep our offense flowing and get a lot of guys open looks, and I think we'll be all right.
All right, thanks, Zach. It's going to be hard for any team to knock off those Century girls. They are the slam dunk favorites to repeat as champs. But I'd like to see Devils Lake take a swing at them. And I know Mandan could very well get back to the championship game too, with the talented senior duo of Xander and Harris. On the boys' side, will Jamestown complete the perfect season? They've looked unbeatable coming into state at 24-0. It won't be an easy path though. If they're able to get by Wahpeton in the quarterfinal round, they'll face the winner of West Fargo and defending champ Bismarck Century. Those are two teams that are flat out tough to play against year in and year out, especially at this point of the year. On the other half of the bracket, Davies seems to be on a mission after missing out on the dance a year ago. As for the boys B, that state tournament field will be set after Thursday night's region championship games. Here are my picks to advance to Minot.
The Region 1 championship should be a tight one. Richland has one of the top offenses, while Kindred boasts one of the best defenses. Both have relied on those strengths to reach 20 wins this year. I think Kindred gets the all-important 21st win on Thursday night at the Shack. When it comes to this point of the year, good defense plays more and more of a role, and I like the height in the post for the Vikings, but if it turns into an up-and-down game, the Colts have the speed to run away with it. In Region 2, flip a coin. Hillsboro-Central Valley and Thompson have played some unreal games the past few seasons, including a double overtime thriller in the most recent meeting. This matchup will be worth the price of admission and then some. The two-time defending champs have a superstar in Carson Henningsgaard, but they just aren't as deep as this Thompson team. The Tommies have size with 6'6" post players Hayden Overby and Clay Odenbach, plus so much veteran leadership from guys like Caden Schwabe and Marcus Hughes. I give Thompson a very slight edge in this one. The Region 3 championship matchup won't be set until after Thursday night, so you get a couple bonus predictions here. I'm going with Carrington over Lemoore Litchfield Marion in the region final in what should be a defensive battle. The Lobos have won the previous 2 meetings this season and are led by a bunch of talented seniors, but I see an upset happening. Seth Nelson and company will play spoiler and put an end to the Lobos' 2-month-long winning streak. The return of Trey Rosenau for the Cardinals should play a big factor too. On to Region 4, give me 4 wins Minnewacan to reach state after missing out on the dance in 2018. Doug Yankton has had some big-time performances this winter, and 6'9 sophomore Bronson Walter is a load to defend in the post. I see the Indians moving on. In Region 5, New Salem-Alma had the advantage on the football field this season, but Shiloh Christian should handle the rivalry on the hardwood. Junior Jaden Mitzel is one of the top players in the state, and he does everything: score, rebound, and defend. 6'9 Macaulay Young makes life miserable on any opponent trying to enter the paint. The Skyhawks should fly to the Elite Eight. Region 6 could be more interesting than people think. Our Redeemers enters the championship game with a modest 12-12 record, but one of those wins was over their opponent in the title bout, Bishop Ryan. However, I don't see the Lions stubbing their toe again. Mason Hedberg and Ben Bull are too good of players. We'll see if they can get back to the state tournament and make another run to the championship game. The 2 best scoring defenses in Class B will play for the Region 7 ticket as Trinity squares off with Beulah in the tournament championship for the 2nd straight year. The Miners won last year's game in an instant classic that went to double overtime. This game will be close, but I give Beulah the edge. I think Chad Morissette will make some big-time shots down the stretch to get them back to the B. Region 8 is another matchup that I throw into the toss-up category. Senior Kyle Van Berkom played a huge role getting the Ray Powers Lake football team to the Final Four in 9-man this fall. Now he has a shot to get the Powers Lake basketball team to the state tournament. The Ranchers, yes, great nickname, lost to Mandaree back on January 10th, but have won 16 consecutive since. I think they tack on number 17 to advance to the Minot State Dome.
All right, that's a wrap for this interesting episode of the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the March Madness.